Buddhism is a religion is by nature associational, and that is also not subject to correction by my Lord Justice Amanullah. My Lord. When Prophet Muhammad also had a revelation, my Lord, converse with his family members and friends and convert them, my Lord, to his thinking. Religions existed, and these are the religions which they had in mind. And the other aspect is, my Lord, the framers had both the good and bad experience of religion. There was crusades against Islam launched by Christianity. And we also know, my Lord, how in the name of jihad, my Lord, there was Islamic invasions in various areas. Know is that when Lord Buddha, my Lord, had enlightenment in Gaya, then he came to Sarnath and he collected his friends and all, and they were the first people who were convinced about his revelations. And that's how, my Lord, Buddhism. So Buddhism is a religion is by nature associational, and that is also, my Lord, subject to correction by my Lord Justice Amanullah, my Lord. When Prophet Muhammad also had a revelation, my Lord, he also, my Lord, had to converse with his family members and friends and convert them, my Lord, to his thinking. And that's how, my Lord, it spread. So when 25:1 talks of religion, the lodestar is religion. Conscience, profess, practice, propagate religion. This constitution was not being made in vacuum. There already existed religions. An explanation 2, my Lord, in fact, mentions some of the religions, which I will be addressing as the basic religion. So religious denominations will be, my Lord, like streams flowing out of the basic religion. But religions existed, and these are the religions which they had in mind. It is with respect to those religions. I'm not saying that new religions cannot be born, my Lord. Some tribals are, my Lord, in Jharkhand, etc., claiming there's some Sarna religion, my Lord. They worship hills, trees, and so on, and they want it to be recognized. And state of Jharkhand has recognized, but central government is not yet recognized it. So new religion may come up. But as on the date of the constitution, there were religions, and those religions existed in the associational form. And the other aspect is, my Lord, the framers had both the good and bad experience of religion. There was a time, my Lord, in the 16th century, my Lord, when state power was emerging. Then it was asking for separation from religion. Religion, my Lord, was controlling the states, especially in Rome, my Lord. In India, and also we have seen that many kings, my Lord, they used to declare state religion. Like King Ashok, my Lord, he declared Buddhism as a state religion. So all the kings used to have the moment the regime changed, they would recognize the religion according to their choice. And they experienced, my Lord, what amount of bloodshed there had been, my Lord, in the struggle between Catholics and Protestants in Europe. Millions died in that battle to establish supremacy or their own existence. We also know, my Lord, how there was crusades against Islam launched by Christianity. And we also know, my Lord, how in the name of jihad, my Lord, there was Islamic invasions in various areas. So as far as in India is concerned, my Lord, we have a long period of growth of religion. More or less, there was conflicts, but largely, my Lord, the denominations, the various philosophies, our evolution was based more on debates. Like Shankaracharya came to Varanasi and had a great debate with Mandan Mishra, and he made his wife, my Lord, the judge, the first lady judge, my Lord, of Bharat. So it was more on debate. I'm not saying there were no conflicts with Buddhism, etc. There have been conflicts. But far unlike that, we experienced clash of civilization and religious clash when, my Lord, we were colonized for a long period of 800 years. first by the Sultanates, then the Mughals, and then the British. So this clash also, my lord, was the experience at the time when this constitution was being framed. Simultaneously, we were witnessing civil war because Muslim League had decided, my lord, to get the partition of this country based on religion. And they formed the Islamic Republic of Pakistan. So this negative experience was very much alive when this constitution was being framed. On the other hand, my lord, our civilization, if it is surviving today, we owe a lot, my lord, to the Hindu religion, the religious denominations, the bhakti movements, and the great acharyas. Lord. It is because of them, my lord, that this civilization is alive. Otherwise, there was enormous attack, my lord, on this our civilization. So therefore, this was a positive aspect of religion, and that's why, my lord, the framers have placed the religious denomination separately and conferred or recognized their right. Religion existed before the Constitution. It's not a gift of the Constitution. So 26 is a recognition of that. These denominations have united the country. So the unity aspect, religion unites, religion also divides. These are the two aspects which were born by them, which was very much alive in their mind when this various structure was framed. Public order was required so that we don't have the civil wars of the kind which we were having. So that without that, there can't be fraternity, there can't be secularism, the different religions cannot interact, cannot fraternize. Therefore, we need public order. The one and only aspect on which Article 26, if we look at closely, the three heads, public order, morality, and health. Public order and health are actually facilitative. They are not limitations at all. In order to practice our religion, we need peace, harmony. So public order and health, if there is some pandemic, like COVID, then the state has to facilitate the exercise of religious rights. So there is one and only one head on the ground of which there can be interference, that is morality. Because we also had the experience of Sati Pratha and Dasi Pratha and so on. And as time comes, the new dimensions, new false lines may be discovered, and therefore morality is the one and only ground. And therefore they wanted really to strengthen. So my request is that with this objective which they had in mind, please give a verdict which brings out this fundamental right to religion in a robust manner. It should not be a matter of a plaything where the governments come and go, and they interfere at their whims and pressures for their political ends, etc. Because religion is very much intertwined with society, the social life, politics also. We see, that if you are contesting election, the first thing you have to do is to go and visit a temple. So the temples, again, have a central place in our history. I've been reading the Professor Dr. Upinder Singh, former Prime Minister's daughter, Manmohan Singh's daughter, and she has mentioned that in ancient times, these temples functioned as banks also. Because when the ships used to sail, the Cholas and the Cheras and the Pallavas and Rajshekharas of Kerala, the ships used to sail east and west. They needed a lot of finances. It's the temple, which was the central piece, and that's why the temples bore the brunt of attacks, of Ghazni and so on. So therefore, we should not, my lord, put any construction on 26 which dilutes the rights which have been given there.